Hi, my name is Mark Turner, and you're watching 30 Days Till My Death. For those of you who may think that there's going to be blood and guts and all kind of gory stuff, there won't be. I plan on taking my own life. I live in a place called Gulf Breeze, Florida. It's a very beautiful place. As you can see, it's on the water, which I love. This is going to be the first of several parts. I don't plan on it taking me 30 days, but I need to share with you what my intentions are with these videos. It's a little windy today, so some of the videos will be better than others. So bear with me if you can. I have a wife and 3 children. My oldest boy, they're all boys, but my oldest boy is 21, my youngest is 12, my middle child is 15 at the time. It's August, it's the summer of 2010. I've done all I can do to expose the corruption of what's going on here in the Panhandle of Florida. If you Google Mark Turner Gulf Breeze or Mark Turner Pensacola, you'll be able to see the articles I have been exposing. I've written to the governor, which at this time is Charlie Crist, and he's told me there's nothing he can do about it. I have written to just about anybody I could think of. I've had a ton of exposure, but what I want to tell you is that one man has no rights. This all started when back in 2001, 2002, the beginning of the internet. I've been in the car business most of my life and married to the same woman most of my life. Her name is Nancy Turner. She's a wonderful woman. My family has no idea that I intend on taking my life. I am doing this because it's either spend the rest of my life in a prison or take my life. Now, I have in black and white documents where I was offered a 90-year sentence or a 10 to 20 month sentence with no restitution and and that would be all. I mean, I'd have to drop the civil lawsuit I filed against Pete Moore of Pete Moore Chevrolet. I've been told he's worth $300 million. That's beside the point. He stole my business. I was making $40,000 a month and just off of his account. I have that also in black and white proof. His insurance company's attorneys, after I filed the lawsuit against him, Larry Matthews is one of his attorneys in Pensacola, Florida. Kevin Hosfeld is another one of his insurance attorneys in Pensacola. Like I said, it's been going on since 2003, and this is 2010. Well, Mike Gutman is another attorney in Pensacola that works for him, along with another fellow who used to work for me, Greg Smith. Greg Smith now works for Pete. Now, I was always told that was against the rules, that they couldn't come after somebody that was they had previously represented. But I wrote the Florida bar. I'm telling you all these things so that the next person won't have to face the things that I've had to face. It's a political war. It's terrorism. I mean, they have tortured us, all because Pete Moore's got so much money he can buy them off. Now I'm going to give you some more names here. Bill Edens. Bill Edens' wife, Lisa Edens, sits on the board with Pete Moore's wife, Angela Moore, and Pete Moore, along with the sheriff of Santa Rosa County. They sit on this board together and they conspired to have me arrested after I refused to drop the lawsuit against Pete Moore. Now, they told me after they had me arrested that they'd arrest my wife. My wife's never done anything to anybody. And sure enough, they arrested my wife. They arrested my wife, and I had a $15,000 bond, and they gave my wife a $250,000 bond, because that would cost me an extra $25,000. You pay in Florida 10% of your bond amount, and I am currently out on an appeals bond because they blocked my testimony in court. Everyone here is corrupt. And when I say everyone here, you know, the people I've dealt with have been bought off. Russ Edgar, he has came after me more than once. I am scared Russ Edgar will come after my family. He has tactics, and you can ask any attorney if they have the balls enough to stand up and tell you. They fear him. He will arrest you, he'll arrest your wife, he'll arrest your children, he'll arrest your secretary, he'll arrest anybody. And he will extort them. Now, what am I talking about extortion? He came to me and told me that I would do 90 years or 10 to 20 months. He came to Barry Barosset, who Barry Barosset begged me to plea. Barry Barosset never wanted me to go to trial. Now, Barry Barosset, if you want a plea attorney, he's the one. But if you want somebody to go fight for you, don't go to Barry. Now, I'm telling you these things because I fear that there will be others out there that they do the same thing to. My website, MarkTurnerandFriends.com, has been on the web now for a couple of years, and I have got documentation where a lot of the major organizations have seen it. I've been to the FBI. I've been everywhere you just about think of. Now, the FBI told me this wasn't a federal matter. It was a state matter. And the governor's office told me that we elected these officials and we had to vote them out. Like I said, one man has no rights. I am very, very familiar with the internet. I sold more cars on the internet in 2003 than anybody in the world, I've been told. Now, that's what they took from me. This car dealer wanted my internet secrets. He took my employees and my equipment, and this was all in a deal that I would be paid for it. And then when I asked to be paid for it, sent him a demand letter to be paid for it, and then filed suit, he never paid me. Now, the thing about Pete Moore is he's bought several car dealerships in Pensacola. Each time he took their employees, found out what they knew, got rid of the ones he didn't want. He took their business, he took everything that they had, but he wrote them a check. He never wrote me a check. Now, he claims I robbed him, but he only claims I robbed him after 3 years. 3 years of me suing him when he realized that he could not get out of the lawsuit. I was not going to bow down. They had previously made me a settlement offer before they arrested my wife. Told me that if I didn't take it, they would arrest my wife. They did so. Now, Pete is a guy who he's hard to get to and hard to talk to. Don't talk to his customers. Kind of hides out in there. A real beady-eyed fella, but's got the correct change. And therefore, he pulls a lot of political strings. He has other brothers in the car business. They're a multi-million-dollar family in Florida, stretch all the way to New York. Now, my lawsuit is still currently going on. J. Rod Cameron of Pace, Florida represents me, along with Jim Chase, who's represented me for years. Jim Chase is an attorney in Pensacola, and I hope and pray they continue to fight this after my death. I have been waiting for years to get to trial. They seem to be able to block me in any way they can. But the responsibility of my death is my own. They tried to kill me in 2007. You'll be able to read about that on the internet. This is before they had me, before I went to trial. In 2004, I filed my lawsuit against Pete Moore. In 2005, he said that I owed him a significant amount of money. I said, how much? $205,000, he said. I paid him. They want to claim in my trial that they had to foreclose on me. They never foreclosed on me. For someone that wanted to expose these lies and expose this corruption, it would make an incredible book, an incredible movie. I only am sad that I won't be around to see it. I did, however, stop them from using the corruption and extortion of charging with the misuse of the Racketeering Act. What they would do is they would come to you, and if you had two things that they said that you did, they charged you with racketeering. That had to be the two same things. Now, if you looked at my verdict sheet, you won't be able to tell what they convicted me of. Money laundering, but it was my money. And I didn't launder it, I just took it out of one bank and put it into another. They called that money laundering. Now for a jury of 6, which one slept through the trial, it wouldn't be hard to be confused. These people were confused, to say the least. I'd like to point out, though, that I feel like I'm in sound mind, and you can see me here and determine that my frustration, I'm sure. But it's either spend the rest of my life in jail, torturing my family, like many of you have seen the commercial that, you know, you're not the only one that goes to jail, your whole family goes, and they mark off those days on the calendar. I can't have that in my family. I love them. I have great parents, a wonderful sister, and a big life insurance policy. I'm going to share the name of the life insurance policy with you in another video at another time, and I'm going to expose about everything that I can, and I just ask you to bear with me if you would. I thank you for your time. Like I said, my name is Mark Turner. You can read about me all over the internet. Just put in Mark Turner, Pensacola, or Mark Turner, Guff Breeze, Mark Turner Car Dealer. Bud Billings was a friend of mine. He was murdered. He had some of the same affiliations with the same car dealer. You can read about all this stuff on the internet. The Billings murder, home invasion. I'm standing by the water, and it's getting a little loud here now. This is one of my favorite places around Guff Breeze. It's always quiet here, and it's got a good view. I'd like to thank you for looking at my video, and like I said, this is number 1 of many parts. I don't plan on it taking 30 days to carry out my intentions, so bear with me if you would, please. Thank you.